I haven't ever experienced this, just because I haven't at an airport or anywhere else. And I'm not sure in the UK we use it that much. But do people with albinism, and then I don't know if it's more people with my type of albinism or not, you tell me, struggle with, someone asked me, with iris recognition, like, you know, with your passport and stuff like that. How does it work? Does it work? Does it not work for, I don't know. Tell me about it. Or do you know?
Yeah, well, the honest answer is I'm not an expert with iris recognition at all, but it's totally conceivable that the people with albinism can have a big problem with that. Partly the way the iris recognition works, I guess, is by recognizing differences in color, because it's a 2D picture essentially. I doubt it's a 3D scan. And it's looking at difference in colour and tiny detail across an iris, which is supposed to be bespoke for an individual, right? But if you have very little iris tissue, it's going to find that hard. It also is going to find it hard if you can't open your eyes super wide to do it. I suppose that could be a problem if there's a bright light involved in it. And also the amount of light coming back into the camera would be greater than normal, which could make the optics not quite work. So I can definitely imagine a world in which iris recognition is going to have a problem for people with albinism. I suppose the third thing is, if your eyes are moving as well, it's going to struggle a fair bit as well. It's going to ask you to look straight, isn't it?
Yeah, that probably won't work.
No, I can imagine it would have significant problems. We'd have to speak to an iris sort of, imaging expert on that. There are, with most things where we're trying to measure something in someone's eyes who move, there are ways to make it so quick, using eye tracking, etc., to make sure that actually we essentially take the picture in exactly the right moment. But that doesn't help with all those other problems as well. And I would guess that the iris tracking or the iris scanning technology is based on working for the highest percentage of people without having too many extra bells and whistles that make it take another 5 seconds. So I would imagine they don't include that sort of problem when they design these things, if I'm honest.
No, probably. So you probably have to go through some extra special queue for the people whose eyes don't work properly. Something like that.
Well, maybe. I mean, every time I go to the airport, they've got 20 speed lanes with one open, and it's actually quicker to go through the boring old school one with the grumpy person sat there, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the airports have got more efficient since 2 months ago when I last flew on a plane. But no, I don't think I've done the iris recognition thing.
No, it's a lot in America, isn't it? I think they do it a lot in America.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't think we do it. We don't do it over here. But definitely loads of people who have eye difference who would find that hard. Like if you have aniridia, you'd struggle with that. If you had if you didn't have eyes, you couldn't do it. There'd be so many, not so proportionally, probably not that many, but it goes across lots of people with eye issues, I think, doesn't it? So
yeah, totally. Or even people who've got injuries or anything that makes your pupil not be typically round. I'm guessing it would error at that point because it's going to look for certain markers to say this is an iris or not an iris. So yeah, I should imagine it won't work brilliantly for people with a lot of eye problems, to be completely honest.
So here's off a tangent of something you just said. So it was in the news the other week about a woman who has motor neurone disease, and she had an AI generated voice of her voice when she was younger, and she as her, because she can't speak anymore for her thing, and she uses eye tracking thing to be able to type and stuff because she can't use her hands. If you have I said to my family, if that ever happened to me and I had to use that, would I not be able to do stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't be able to use the kit that currently is used the most, the kind of rolled out stuff that's robust, but there's always a way to code for almost anything. So in reality, you don't have control over the nystagmus, but you do have control over whether you're looking left or right or up or down to some degree, right, within that range. So you still have some ocular motor control, meaning moving your eyes around. So you could definitely code the tracker. I mean, it's basically software, isn't it, to say if Kristina does this for a few seconds, do this. If she does something else, do that for a few seconds. So it could be codable, I'm sure. But I would guess if you tried one of those things right now that's set up for people without nystagmus, I suspect it wouldn't work.
It might write rude words and stuff like that.
Yeah, but even if it did, you could blame it on that forever, right? Sorry I called you this. It
wasn't my fault.
Yeah, maybe that's an angle.
I quite like that.